Whatever it takes. He's flying! Yes! There's history!
Now in front, the crowd roaring, go, Lonro, go! But the 3-year-old in front, Bill Sayers, Lonro, he's coming, he's going to get there! Yes, Lonro won it! Proud by My Whisper, My Whisper won the last.
G'day punters, welcome to another episode of the Whispers Racing Podcast, day one of the championships and Golden Mile Day at Bendigo. If you're watching on YouTube, as you can see, I am flying absolutely solo this episode. Matty's gone MIA due to last week's results, but he should be back next week. So we'll run through the big group ones in Sydney, the Sires, the Doncaster, the Derby, and the T.J Smith. We'll have bets around the grounds. We'll have a multi and our best bet pineapple of the week. We'll get into the talking points. There's quite a few here, so we'll run through them quite quickly. Last week, Dubai World Cup. What a meeting that was. Did you see the win of Equinox in the Dubai Shima Classic over 2,400 metres? Wowee, that was arrogant and impressive. What more could you say about it? Now, looking forward to seeing that horse in the Arc, because it'll be mighty hard to beat with a performance like that. The Astrologist ran second in the 1,200 metre race there, beaten a short half head. Look, the winner, what a fantastic effort, and well done to Connections, because it's a huge risk to take your horse overseas with the costs, and yeah, a lot can go wrong with a horse travelling, but great result for them. Imagine if we took an A-grade sprinter there for their sprint race. Well, it would, do some damage, but no disrespect to the Astrologist. Well done to the owners. A pimple away from pinching it. Bit of sad news today with I'm Thunderstruck passing away. Had an incident on the surgery table, I believe it was, and yeah, very sad, and feel for the Connections of I'm Thunderstruck. He would have touched a lot of people, touched a lot of the owners and a lot of people that work with him around the stable. So yeah, heart goes out to them. Hopefully he rests in peace now. I'm Thunderstruck. What a horse he was and could have been. I was incentivized, retired late last week. Happy retirement to the big boy. Never forget his Caulfield Cup win. Might have been one of those things, what could have been if he stayed healthy. But geez, I've never seen a horse rise from a country Brisbane meeting to a Caulfield Cup, and the way he won that Caulfield Cup was absolutely electric. So happy retirement, and good to see the owners and trainer put the horse first and not their pockets. So yeah, good to see. Goldman, he got the golden ticket into the Melbourne Cup, and what a win that was. I haven't seen anything like that for a while coming out of Sydney Metro, Sydney country meeting. So yeah, what a win. $26 before Saturday, now $11 favourite for the Melbourne Cup. Do you want to be taking that in the Melbourne Cup? I personally don't, because you don't know who's going to be in it from the overseas horses, and yeah, a lot can happen between now and November, but good on the Connections. Golden ticket in. I've seen a few videos of the owners winning and celebrating. Great to see, and good luck to them. Long way to go to get to the Melbourne Cup now, but yeah, very, very good to see. And the last one I'll touch on here is the suspensions were handed out for the Australian Guineas, and Mark Zara was suspended for 36 meetings for that interference in the Australian Guineas, and Shin got 10 meetings. What I do find interesting, that the suspension, did they take in consideration that he only rides two minimum, maximum 3 times a week? I just wonder if they took it into their consideration when handing it down, because, yeah, that's not a lot of meetings for him. On reflection, 36 is a lot, but when you're only riding twice a week, does it really hurt him? Kicks off April 1st, so he gets to ride this week up in Sydney. So good luck to him. And, yeah, good to see all the jockeys that have fallen are making a recovery, and we'll be back shortly. Track stats. We're going to do both track stats here. We're going to do Bendigo Rail True. Leaders win at 50%, the mids 21 and the rear 29. So off that, really want to be with the leaders. But what I find interesting here, normally this meeting, you need to be close to the rail and leaders, the most favoured. but last year, for some reason, the rail was off due to maybe overwatering. But there's been some rain this week, so I expect the track to be a good 4 and should race quite well. But I'll be definitely looking for horses up on speed. It might chop out late, but yeah, Bendigo, look for those horses up on speed. Randwick railed true for their day one of their championships. It's interesting here. Leaders win at 39%, mids 28%, the rear 33%. So that tells me you can win from anywhere. But then the lanes come into play here. Lanes 1 to 3, 16%. 4 to 7, 49%. 8 to 11, 31%. 12 plus 5%. Now, every horse should get their chance off those. Now, the interesting thing here, rain is predicted between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturday, but 1 to 5 mil. We all know they could get none or they could get 20 mil. So definitely watch an act, keep an eye on the radar, and yeah, it just could be disaster if it comes race time because it could really chop out and do some damage. But definitely watch an act, and if you can get a guide early of what it could be, then yeah, you can really make some money. Considering trial trackers this week, we're going to go to Bendigo, race 7, number 4, Quang Try. Normally for a Paddy Payne horse, they normally have 3 to 5 jump outs before going to their first up run. This horse only had 2, and his first up run was over 1,100 metres, which wouldn't have been ideal for the horse. And I thought it wasn't bad without threatening. Went back to the jump outs, and I really liked the most recent one. I know it says 10th of 10, but that wasn't far off him when he hit the line well. Normally, Paddy Payne's horse, they like to finish 10 lengths plus last in their jump outs. He just likes to get them nice and fit and just enjoy themselves doing no much real work. But this one showed something, and it might be worth chucking India quaddies or even having a 1x3 play here, and that's race 7, number 4, Quang Try. The video will be up as most weeks you'll see it. So yeah, we'll kick things here. Race 6, race 7. Race 8 and race 9 in Sydney. So we'll kick things off with race 6, the English Sires, 1,400 metres, Group 1. So speed map here, you have it all down below here. Brave Mead I've got leading with bases loaded. Cylinder should get the perfect run in transit here from barrier 4 and just camp right behind them. Butch Cassidy be probably in the coffin. Right behind the leaders on that rail. Mahaba could be 3 wide, no cover. Don Corleone could be in a real sticky spot there and might find a lot of trouble from that barrier 2. So if they're not careful, it could be quite a yuck watch for that horse. V8, he should be 3 wide, and hopefully Maraba is stuck 3 wide, no cover, and he can just use that horse to really blend into the race. In saying all that, I'm happy to be with V8 here. This horse has had a faultless prep and hasn't been a taxing prep either for this horse. Still having its first prep. Loved his win in the Sires at Flemington. Says it won by 2 lengths, but it should have won by more. Had no luck in the straight, but when it got out, I thought it was easy and a strong victory. Plus, it's already ticked that 1,400 metre box, which I really like to see. No knock on Cylinder here. I just can't dive into a horse that's grand finals 2 weeks ago and has to go again. 220 for a horse that's never seen 1,400 and grand final 2 weeks ago. That's the only knock I have. And the positive is it's going to get the perfect run to run out the 1,400. But I still wouldn't talk you out of backing if you do like it. But personally, I just don't think the price is something I want to get involved in. I think there's only 2 chances in the race. Brave Mead. Yeah, he's going to lead these up, and he was good at Moonee Valley last week, but I just don't think he beat anything. So it's hard to assess that horse, but I'm happy to be with V8. Go and watch his run at Flemington. I think it was better than what the form guide says. And yeah, I think this is a serious, serious horse. We'll move over to race 7 here, the T.J Smith, 1,200 metres, Group 1. What an addition this is going to be. Speed map. I've got Nature Strip leading, as always. He's just going to slightly miss the kick, but then he's going to hunt them up. Shades of Rose from barrier 14. Oh, sorry, barrier 11. I think he or she will come across him and sit outside Nature Strip. Yeah, it's a very sticky barrier for it. And yeah, I think there's only one way, and that's to lead. Passive aggressive, I think he can use Nature Strip a long way to get across, but Nature Strip will just roll to the front and he can find a perfect spot there, passive aggressive. Marzu will hunt up and probably sit behind Nature Strip. Overpass, perfect spot from barrier 4. Maramia is probably going to be 3 wide, no cover. In Secret can probably use that horse with a bit of cover. Same with Lost and Running. Giga Kick in a real sticky position there from 9. He could, find some trouble if he's not lucky. Lofty Strike, I Wish I Win, be back and wide, and yeah, they'll be coming home hard. In saying that, I've landed with passive aggressive here. Good win first up over the 1,000, which I don't think 1,000 metres suited this horse, and 1,200 metres will suit it better. Went back to the trials over 1,045 metres in Sydney, and I thought it went super. Gets the perfect run transit here, where all the dangers are going to be back and wide. Love the booking of Geordie Childs here. Knows the horse well, riding really well too. Yeah, I think this is the up-and-coming horse. There's a lot of horses here that have found their mark and are probably dropping off. I think this horse, we don't know its ceiling yet, and that's why I want to be with this horse, especially at the price. Nature Strip, well, if I get done, I really hope it's done by Nature Strip. I love him to bits. He looks like it might be his last start. If he does, I hope he goes out a winner. He just hasn't come back the horse he was. Yes, he's going up in age, and yeah, you just can't keep going those ratings that he likes to go. Ratings are telling us he's dropping off. I hope he's not, but I've got to listen to these ratings, and he looks like he's just dropping off that touch, which you can't be against these horses. Trainer did say the horse might have felt the track at Flemington on a good 3 last start, but it might get a soft track here. So I'm trying to find ways to get this horse to win, but yeah, there's a lot of ifs and buts. So I did say there's going to be a bit of rain around, so keep an eye on it because, yeah, this horse goes better when there's a bit of cut out of the ground. J-Mac will find the front here. One thing to note here, there's no Eduardo to annoy him up front and dictate the race and, put him out of his comfort zone. So there's a little tick for him. He's definitely going to look the winner when straightening. It's just what's left in the tank with this old boy. I hope there's something there because at $4.60, he's still a good price to have a little saver on if you do like him. Barrier 7, if the rail's no good, he can really sit in those lanes. But yeah, geez, a big boy. There's a few questions to ask here, and I can't wait to see what is there and hopefully goes out a winner. Giga Kick. This horse I'm really confused about. Map is a bit tricky, and he'll need a Zach Purton perfect ride here from barrier 9. Yes, won the Everest, but that was brutally run tempo. And he looked gone at the tempo of the straight. Yes, great win, not going to knock it, but yeah, he looked gone on the corner. That's a bit of a concern in that race. Then went to the VRC Champion Sprint. Yes, he was a touch unlucky, but I thought he had his chance to beat Rich Rockin' Horse. First up, slip/checked at the start, hit the line good. And he was the flashing light that you wanted to be with here, but again, he'll be back wide. He might be in some traffic. He's going to need some luck from the rear. And at $4, a lot of ifs for me. I'm not going to talk you out of him, but it's just a horse. I don't know. Is he going to be that hype that everyone's talking about? Is he going to bring that Everest run? He's going to have to because it's similar field. So I don't know. If he drew a barrier, I'd probably be with him. But 9, he's going to have to be very, very good to win from there. Then you've got the Newmarket race. And is that the form you want to be in? Yes, In Secret was impressive. But bad barrier here means it's going to be 3 wide. To be any chance, he's got to be right up. She's got to be right up there. I don't know. It's tricky map. Lofty Strike, I Wish I Win. Yep, good runs in the Newmarket, but again, they're going to be back and wide. Is that going to be ideal? Now, they're not going to be going the fast tempo for these horses to get in it. If Nature Strip gets to the front and he's enjoying himself, he might just go a steadily speed up front, not his normal brutal tempo, getting annoyed up front. So there's a lot of factors that take in this race, but I'm happy to be a passive aggressive here. Off the map, he's going to be perfect. I loved his win first up against Eduardo. He found the line. 1200 is going to suit a lot better than 1,000 metres. He's definitely a 1x3 bet here. But if this is Nature Strip's farewell race, can't wait to see him. Hopefully, farewell's a winner, but hopefully passive aggressive pips him. But yeah, great race, a lot of unknowns, and geez, I could look real silly here, but yeah, I think passive aggressive is going to be the progressive one, and yeah, perfect map. Race 8 here, the Doncaster Mile, 1600 meters, Group 1. Just loading the speed map here. Speed map, I think this is going to be brutally run. Gentleman Roy only knows one way from barrier 10. Lindemann from 18, he's only got one option to come across, and that's what he did last start. He led him up, and I think he's going to try and do that again. Sit outside leader. Nugget from 22. I don't think they want to go back. I think they're going to roll forward. They're going to be stuck 3 wide, no cover maybe. Going to be hard to slot in from 22. Osipenko from 1 can kick right up and sit behind Gentleman Roy. It's just how far Gentleman Roy can take him into the race. And I don't know if Gentleman Roy can run a strong 1,600 metres. Could be proved wrong. Bandersnatch from 5 probably gets the perfect run. Alligator Blood from 12 can come across. He'll sit 3 wide. He'll probably have a bum to follow. Bright Side from 2, if they don't get pushed into that rail, he could get the perfect run with him. And yeah, Fangirl from 19. Geez, that's a toxic barrier. What do? I think they go back. If they do go back, geez, he's going to be coming home. She's going to be coming home hard. I'm getting a he's and she's wrong here tonight. But yeah, Joe Moreira. Oh, geez, I call him the murder man because I've never forgiven him the ride he gave Winks in the AJC Oaks in Sydney. And yeah, I'll never forgive him for it. And that's why they call him the magic man. I call him the murder man. But yeah, it's going to take something special for Joe Moreira to win from 19. But if he does, geez, it's going to be a good win. In saying all that, I'm going to be with number 8, Duke de Sasa. Comes over with some okay European form. I'm going to give you some useless form lines here. It smacked Glory Days winning over 1,600 in its 2-year-old season. I reckon it was close to 8 lengths. Then beat Bear Story, who's been running okay in its Group 1s in Victoria recently. Loved his jump out in Sydney. It was only 1. Third was White Marlin, and I thought he had panels on White Marlin in that jump out or trial. Draws a barrier where it could sit up in a good position and sit midfield. Yeah, it's still a horse, and yeah, I just really liked his way he trialled for this race. Big odds, but yeah, it could be one that blows everyone out here. I can't knock Mr. Brightside. He's the only horse I want to be with out of the All-Star Mile. Again, gets a good run in transit. We know what he did with a good run in transit at the All-Star Mile. Blew him away. Alligator Blood, he died on his run late. Was that because he was second up? If you're with him in the All-Star Mile, I think you've got to go again because he's going to improve. You know, all the cliches, strip fitter, all that. Third up, peak. This might have been his grand final. We don't know. Haven't heard much from the Adrian Bott and Gabe Waterhouse yard to get any info out of that. He did have synthetic hoof filler that day, and I reckon he's still got it. So that's the only concern I got with him. Osipenko dropped 7 kilos, only finishing 1 length of Animo. Now, that's the A-grade form line, surely. 7 kilos. Barrier 1 is the only concern I got for this horse because he might be just stuck. And, yeah, Gentleman Roy could be his roadblock if he doesn't take him into the race. But $14, you've got to have something on if you like him because he's a genuine chance if he gets clear air. I wish Lindemann here drew a barrier because he would have got a soft run in transit, but from 18, they're going to roll forward. And looking at his last start victory, this horse is a fighter. He looked on with 200 to go. Pericles was going past it, but he fought hard to win that. And, Yeah, I think he's going to be in the race for a long, long way. He's definitely one you can throw in your first fours or tries if you're having one. Great race, many chances here, but I'm keen to be with number 8, Duke de Sassa, 1/3 at about $26. Definitely going to play first fours here with Brightside, tries and first fours with Brightside, Elsa Pengo, Lindemann. Geez, if that gets up, it could pay anything. But yeah, good race, great handicap race. It's yeah, I think there's a couple of chances there. Good odds, great race. Can't wait to find out. Race 9 here, the end of all the Group 1s. What a card it's going to be in Sydney. Race 9, the Australian Derby, 2,400 metres, Group 1. Speed map here. I've got Cesuro, leader. Major Bill should sit outside him. Pericles and Elliptical should get the gun runs, perfect runs behind the leaders. Sharp and Smart could be 3 wide, no cover from barrier 17. I've mapped him there because I don't think they go back. They go back, there's no one's going to bring him into the race. 3 wide, no cover. I know it's not ideal, but I think that's where they're going to land. It's going to have to be a special ride from Huey Bowman to get him into a spot from 17. In saying all that, I'm happy to be with number 9 here, Mark Twain, New Zealand horse. What a run this was in the New Zealand Derby. Had no luck whatsoever. Sharp and Smart won the race. Made a move at around the 600-metre mark to get into the race. It was a winning move. That's what won him the race. While he was making his move, Mark Twain was stuck on the inside, looking for gaps, got none. Had to go across the field, out to the outside. When he finally gets outside, the race was pretty much over, but he hit the line hard once he got clear air. From barrier 5, if they can sit any closer than where they did and the start that they gave Sharp and Smart, I think he's a genuine chance at around the $8 mark. He can follow Pericles anywhere, everywhere it goes, because Pericles will take him everywhere. But around the 200-metre mark, Pericles might put up the white flag and we'll be hitting it hard. Totally respect Sharp and Smart, but barrier is a huge concern for me. I just don't believe this horse gets a strong 2,400 metres, and from barrier 17, he could be running 2050 metres. Not ideal. If you look back at the Vic Derby, he just died on his run late. Some people say he just didn't see Manzoy's coming. If he saw him coming late, he might have kicked back and won. Interesting that people are saying that. I just don't know if he gets a strong 2,400 metres. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm not going to talk you out of backing him if you do like him. But barrier 17, do they go forward 3 wide, no cover, or do they go back to near last? Not many horses are going to take him into the field. So good. The more you talk about it, the more you think about it, it's just going to keep doing your head in. But I think there's another horse here that with different form lines and some value here. Number 17, Domingo. Huge win in a weak grade, was a good rating, and that will stack up against that field. 2,400 won't be an issue, and if there's any cut out of the ground or any rain during the race or during the meeting, it'll be even better for this horse. I'll be having a small each way play for this horse because I just feel he brings a different form line. Everything stacks up against each other. You can tie a lot of form lines. You can eliminate a few horses, but this one's bringing something different. And I like what I saw last start. Small field. He's absolutely smashed them. Yes, very weak field, but that rating really could stack up in this race. So happy to have a small play. Number 17, Domingo. But my main bet here is going to be Mark Twain. They're the 4 race, the 4 I like. So to recap, race 6, we're going to be with V8 in the Inglis Sires. T.J Smith, I'd love to see Nature Strip win, but I'm going to be with Passive Aggressive in a 1/3 play here. Doncaster Mile, I'm keen to play Duke de Sassa 1/3 at big odds. And I'm going to play tries and first fours around Mr. Brightside, Osipengo, and Lindemann. Race 9, the Australian Derby, 2-bet play, something really small, Domingo, little the win, more the plays. And Mark Twain's going to be my main bet. So let us know your thoughts on where you're going to be heading in the big 4 Group 1s in Sydney. WhatsApp and subscribing to our channel. Please get in contact with Maddie or myself if you want to join our community on WhatsApp. I'll put my email below. If you please send me an email if you would like to join via WhatsApp. Great community, people sending their thoughts, dogs, NBA, footy, NRL, UFC. It's a punters community. So if you want to get involved, please DM me or email me and I'll put you straight through. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Whispers Racing Podcast or any podcast platform. Get the episode as they drop. Thank you for everyone that does subscribe and listen each week. We really appreciate it. Thank you to Tinkler4 for your comments on YouTube about the William Reid. Last week, what a result it was for us. We didn't miss. Matty found not an option in race 8 at Flemington. I found Goldman, what you need. The multi got up, 3-legger, and Prowess. Wowee, what is that a win in the pineapple of the week? But I'll touch on that one later. Around the grounds. So Matty sent a text in for what he likes this week. So I'll read these out. Get your pens and pencils ready here. Around the grounds for Matty. We'll kick things off at Bendigo. Race 1. He's going to stick with Elation. Interesting. But, yep, going to follow Matty in. Race 1, Bendigo, Elation. Then he's going to go out to Randwick. He's going to have 3 bets here. Randwick, race 1, expects Barber to be too good. So I'm reading these off the phone, guys. So race 1, expects Barber to be too good. Race 4, Sequestered. From a lovely gate, we'll get the run of the race and every chance to find a city win. And then race 8, the Doncaster. He's found 2 here. Fangirl on top with Ozapenko the value. There we go. Matty and I align with Ozapenko. So if anyone knows the show well enough, when we do a line, worth backing. So, race 1, Barber. Race 4, Sequestered. Race 8, Fangirl and Osapenko. And race 1, Bendigo, Elation. Thank you, Matty. My around the grounds, I haven't... Oh, no, I haven't got one. But if you join the community, you'll get my full set that I like at Bendigo that day. Multi-time. I've had to do this by myself and, quite scary. We're going to do a 3-legger. We're going to have 2 of them in Sydney. So race 4, number 3, Sequestered the win. Race 6, number 4, V8 the place. And we're going to throw in Port Adelaide to beat Adelaide at $6.50. So Sydney race 4, number 3, Sequestered the win. Race 6, number 4, V8 the place. And Port Adelaide to beat Adelaide, $6.50. Pineapple of the week, as I said last week, we struck gold there. Me and Matty with Prowess. What a victory that was. Be interesting to see how she goes in the spring coming up. Hopefully, be interesting. I've heard word that she's gone back to New Zealand. Won't be contesting the Oaks. Don't mind seeing that. Goes out a winner. Could come back even better. Great win. Don't know if it beat much, but just love the way she won. 200 to go. She was strong. Very, very good horse out in New Zealand. But we're on to this week. This week, we're going to go to Bendigo, race 6, number 1, Queen Air. This horse is 20 handicap ratings better than the next horse and should be giving these horses 10 kilos, but it's only giving them 6 kilos. Wowee. Huge win last start at the Valley. Finds an easier race here. Should get the good spot in running and prove way too hard to beat here. That is race 6, number 1, Queen Air. Currently $1.90. I think this starts near $1.60 once race time and everyone cottons on to this. And I just think it's a very, very good pineapple of the week. I just wonder if it goes to the Oaks next week in Sydney. But I've heard a few people talk about this horse for the Caulfield Cup. So that's a big call. But race 6, number 1, Queen Air at Bendigo, around the $1.90 to end the show. Thank you for listening. If you, as I said, want to be part of the podcast, please subscribe to our podcast on YouTube or any podcast platform. And yeah, DM me or email me if you want to be part of the community. We've had a really good week. We're on the border to win for the month, which is really good. We smashed it the last couple of weeks, and yeah, it's just good to get a good result. And yeah, we'll be back next week for day 2 of the championships. Hopefully, Matty's recovered from us going 100% on last week's episode. Yeah, so we'll be back for day 2 of the championships and off-peak racing in Victoria. Thank you all for watching, and see you next week. Hopefully you fill your pockets up. More importantly, we hope we fill your pockets up. Gamble responsibly and have a great week.
I'm not a good person, but it just goes to show that good things do happen to bad people. So anyone out there who's up against the wall, fucking stick to it. Every cent you got, your rent, your electricity bill, if you're going to buy your missus a ring, don't fucking do it. Keep punting. Keep fucking punting.